Morning, Nancy.
Good morning.
I like your garden. In fact, you have some of my favorite plants here.
Hey.
Sedum Autumn Joy.
I love those.
Just starting to come into flower.
Yep.
It'll flower late summer and all the way through the fall.
I got a lot of mileage out of one plant.
Oh, you've been dividing them?
I have. I've got about 10 now.
Oh, that's a great tip. And a stilby that looks like it's just finishing flowering.
It was beautiful. It just went by. It was a beautiful pink this year.
So these are the old flowers.
Yeah.
That's a nice plant.
Yeah, it was nice and big. The flowers were gorgeous.
It looks really happy there, but we got a plant that's not so happy over here. Look at the leaves on this hosta.
Yeah, I see these. I didn't know if it was ants or...
No, I think you get a lot of sun in this backyard.
It's very hot.
And I think it's too hot. Hostas really like a half a day to a full day of shade. They do better there, so maybe that'll have to be moved. But you emailed me about a hydrangea.
I did.
This one looks great.
It's beautiful, except there's no flowers.
Oh, you want it all?
I do.
So give me the history of this plant.
Well, I bought it about 4 years ago at a garden center, and it had beautiful blue flowers, but...
Big blue moundy ones?
Yes.
Okay.
But after they went by, the next year there was nothing, and I haven't had anything since.
For 4 years?
For 4 years.
Have you tried any remedies?
Yep. I have friends who told me to try different things, and I tried. I even dug them up and tried different things to put in soil, and nothing. This is what I get, beautiful green leaves.
All right, from the description of the flower, the blue mounty one, I'm sure that this is a Nico blue hydrangea. Now, Nico blue hydrangea likes to grow in zones 6 to 8. Think of the United States as divided into different zones, and each zone is determined by the low temperature of an average winter. 6 to 8 is fairly warm. You are in zone 5. That's colder than zone 6. So what happened is this plant dies back to the ground every winter. And if you look here, you can see these stems. These should be covered with blue flowers right now, but because it's not properly zoned, the plant died back all the way to the base, so you didn't get any flowers.
Right.
For the plant to survive, it had to put out new growth, and that's all the green you see here. But there are no flower buds on these for this year.
Right.
But there is, in fact, a flower bud down inside here for next year. The problem is, because the plant's in the wrong zone, it's going to get killed to the ground again every year, and you're not going to get any flowers. You're just going to get nice green leaves. What I think we should do is find a hydrangea that looks like the Nico blue, but is suited for your climate. Let's take a look.
Great.
Nancy, the reason I love coming to garden centers like this time of year is all the hydrangeas are in bloom, and we can really see what they're going to look like. The first one I wanted to show you is called PG hydrangea, and this is this tree form one here. It has flowers on it that are going to end up being at least 12 inches long, absolutely gorgeous. And they turn brown and make a nice cut flower. This tree is actually going to get up 15 or 20 feet tall.
Wow.
A little big for your house,
Sure is.
but in front of a Victorian house, it fits perfectly.
I bet it does.
Now, over here we have a native hydrangea. This is Hydrangea arborescens. It has a white flower on it. Native to Florida, but will do well in zones 3 to 9.
Okay, so that would grow at my house.
It would grow at your house, and when it gets covered with flowers, it actually will fall over. The weight of the flowers is so big. Over here, we have Hydrangea macrophylla lace cap.
Oh, these are pretty.
Right, if you look at these, the flower is flat. It's not like the big dome flower we're used to. Next to it, we have Hydrangea macrophylla hortensis, also called mop heads, and you can see now we're getting into those big mop head flowers like your Nico blue.
Right, but these aren't blue.
No, they're not blue, and that's because of the soil. When the hydrangea is grown in alkaline soil, the flowers tend to be on the pink side. When it's grown in acidic soil, you get those nice blue flowers.
Oh.
But when you're looking at hydrangeas, we have to look for more than just the flowers. We have to make sure the hardiness of the plant, so you are going to get flowers where you live. This is a unique plant in that it flowers on old wood and new wood. So even if this plant got knocked back by the winter, the new growth would come out and you'd still get flowers.
So I couldn't destroy this one.
Can't destroy this one. I think it'd be a good choice for your garden.
Great.
So let's grab a couple and head back.
Okay, great.
All right, Nancy, what do you think?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's loaded with flowers.
It is, but it's so small.
Well, you're a great gardener, and I know you'll take good care of it. This time next year, it'll be twice this size.
Okay.
But before we can plant this, we have to get the other hydrangea out. So what I want you to do is take this iron rake, pull all the mulch around the hydrangea and pull it back. I'll tie it up, and then we can get after it with the shovels.
Okay.
All right, Nancy, that looks good. Now what we're going to use is called a transplanting shovel. You can see it has a long steel blade on it and a place to really push down with your feet. Okay? What I want to do is come out about a foot from the stems, all right? And we're just going to drive down in the ground as deep as you can. I want you to go all the way around without lifting, okay? Don't try to pry it up until we cut the roots all the way around. Now the hydrangea is a pretty shallow root system. What I want you to do, line up opposite me, put your transplanting shovel in as far as you can, okay? We've cut all the roots, so now we're just trying to get under it and lift up so we can get it out of here. We're close. All right, would you grab that piece of burlap over there and put it down for me? There you go.
Okay.
I'm just going to drag this out of the way, all right?
Okay.
All right, Nancy, we want a hole that's just about the same depth as the pot the hydrangea's in, but I want to dig it 2 or 3 times as wide.
Okay.
Because you wanted blue flowers, we're going to add aluminum sulfate to the soil. This will make it more acidic. I'm going to add about a cup, and I'm going to add it to all the soil that we're going to use on this plant. I'm even going to put some in the bottom of the hole. And then in addition, while we have the opportunity, I'm going to add some compost to the soil because this will improve how the water drains through the soil, also make it nice and light so that the roots can grow through. I'm going to put this in here. You just take and mix it all in, all right?
Okay.
Turn it right over. I'm going to get 4 or 5 scoops now, and then we'll add 4 or 5 more as we're planting. Now what I'm going to do is just take the plant right out of the pot, and I'm going to set it in the hole. First thing I want to do is check is the height. I want to make sure that this root ball is slightly higher than that. I never want to put the plant in too low.
Okay.
The other thing I'm going to do is look at the face of the plant. So I want to put the best side or the face out to where we're going to see all those flowers.
Okay.
Now what I want you to do is take your claw, and I want to go around and very lightly scratch the outside of the pot where the ball, where the roots are, just to loosen it up a little bit so they can grow out into a nice new soil. And once this is done, we'll start backfilling. What I'm doing is I'm just continuing to mix the compost and the aluminum sulfate together and then bring it over around the plant.
Okay.
See, would you give me a few shovelfuls of soil over here? I'm going to make a ring right around the plant so that it'll hold water. And we'll be able to really soak this plant in good. I also like to add a little starter fertilizer and some superphosphate when I'm putting in a new plant. There you go. I want it filled all the way to the top of the ring. Let's soak this in good. Once it drains, we'll level off the dirt, rake the mulch in, and we're done.
Okay, sounds good.
There you go, Nancy. There's your blue flower.